there guys, and welcome to another study vlog. So I'm just back from the holidays. It's been 3 weeks in which I have done nothing. So one, I have to get back on track, and two, it's time for super productive study sessions, for grinding, for that extra motivation that we need in order to survive finals week. So that's what we're gonna do today, and I think for the next 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks, that's what I'm gonna do, basically, with little breaks for like eating and sleeping, but that's mostly what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna be super productive starting from today, and I actually started studying a little bit earlier, and what I noticed is that I am so overwhelmed about all the things that I have to do and all the work that lies ahead of me that I just cannot sit at my table and start with something. And that's obviously because I haven't planned my whole study schedule, which I need to do today. So I just came a few hours ago at my desk, sat down and just kept making excuses in order to not study. I made myself some coffee, I made myself some tea, I started decluttering and cleaning everything. I started looking for things to order online. I just wanted to avoid starting to study at all costs. Because my brain is so confused and frustrated with all the things that I have to do that I cannot decide what to start with, because somehow in my head I know that if I start with something, I'm gonna neglect the other subjects that I have to work on. But that's obviously not true if I make a good plan and stay on track and, you know, try to do as much as I can for every subject. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try to calm down and start with something, and that something is first the plan and then studying. So let's go ahead and do that plan, and I encourage you with all my heart to spend maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2, even if it's from your study time, to plan your study sessions and everything that you have to do throughout the course of the next weeks, because having that in front of you is so, I don't know, it makes you feel like you have everything under control, or at least it's that way for me. So I find that so important as a study tip, but also in general, having things planned and having them in front of you takes so much pressure off your shoulders, because you know that you're starting today with something and you do everything in your power to stick to that schedule. And if you manage to stick to that schedule, you're gonna have everything done by the time your exams come. And sometimes obviously we don't have that time because we realize it's too late and we have to start cramming, but that's a story for another time, and I can do a whole separate video about that. But today we're not cramming, we're almost cramming, because I still have to catch up on a few lectures and things. But today we're starting to be a little bit more organized and organize the things in our heads and plan everything that we have to do. And yeah, I think we should stop talking and do something. This is me again, just trying to avoid sitting at my desk and starting to do stuff, but let's do it. The plan is almost finished, and I kind of had a pretty hard time imagining what the next weeks are gonna look like and what's the most intelligent thing to do and how to plan it so that, one, I don't overwork myself, and two, I get everything done on time. So I'm gonna revisit this plan maybe tomorrow and the days after that. But for now, it's a good plan. I mean, for the next 5 days, it's a good plan that I can stick to. And I kind of feel like going to the library now, because the library usually gets me into that extra productive mood, and I haven't been to the library for the past 3 weeks, and I think I'm gonna like try to boost my study mood a little bit, even though it's getting dark outside, and I'm gonna do that at the library. And I don't know, hopefully it's gonna be a productive study session. So let's pack our bags and let's go to the library. One more thing, that is that I don't know about you, but I just love full study days, and right now I'm not able to do that because I still have lectures going on, and I don't know why, because those full study days are also the days that I tend to procrastinate a lot more than days in which I know that I only have 2 hours or 4 hours to study between lectures. But at the same time, it makes me a little bit anxious to know that every 2 hours or every 4 hours or every 6 hours I have to interrupt my study sessions and go to the lectures or tutorials. And I also know that I might get tired after a lecture or a tutorial, and then if I have to go back to my study session, I might be not so focused or not so into studying because my brain is already a little bit exhausted from all that concentration in the lectures. And that's why right now we obviously have to work with what we have, and that's what I'm gonna do. But I just cannot wait to be finished with all the lectures and tutorials and concentrate only on studying, because I find it so calming to know that I wake up at 7 a.m. and then at 8 or 9 I go to the library, and then I can sit there for a whole day and just focus and just, you know, immerse in that feeling of, you know, having a full day of studying ahead of me. I don't know how to call it any different than that, and I don't know if it makes sense, but I sometimes just love to forget about the whole environment and just be there in my own movie and forget about the outer environment and just immerse in the movie that I'm in, and that is usually like the stuff that I have to study, and I just get into that world of exercises and possibilities. And usually with my study with physics and with geophysics, it's always such fascinating things, and of course here and there it's also equations and complicated math stuff, but when it's not that, it's super interesting phenomena, and it's like the story of our planet told in a scientific way, and I just love to immerse into that story. So I think that's why I don't like being interrupted by having to leave the library to go to another building to have lectures or tutorials. But yeah, please comment below if you love like having full days of studying, or if that scares you, or if that overwhelms you, and to that you rather prefer having just slots of time in which you have to study. I would love to know what you guys think about it, and if I'm the only one. But yeah, now let's get to planning and studying.